Until I experienced love bombing, I thought it was a bunch of hogwash, a made-up term used to describe love-sick fanatics. I know I'm not alone. All it takes is reading through the comments of popular shorts on the subject to see how many other people believe that too. Would it shock you to learn that the techniques being used in love bombing are so effective that the same strategies are employed by cult leaders and the like to brainwash followers? In this video, you're going to learn the truth about love bombing, how it creates a trance-like state of suggestiveness, how powerful psychological techniques are used to gain control over you. I'll also teach you the signs to watch out for so that you can avoid falling for someone's manipulations and stop their efforts to get you to succumb to their will. I'm Dr. Kerry Kerr McAvoy, a mental health specialist with over 20 years of counseling experience. Unfortunately, I'm also a narcissistic abuse survivor. My ignorance and skepticism about love bombing made me vulnerable, and I fell victim to a narcissistic predator. If you'd like to hear my story and how it put me in danger, go check out the first episode in this series called How Love Nearly Cost Me My Life. Or read my book, Love You More, The Harrowing Tale of Lies, Sex Addiction, and Double Cross. I want to warn you, it's a graphic look at how I survived a toxic relationship. If you're new to this channel, this is the 5th episode in a year-long series called Toxic Love. Over the next year, I'm breaking down a pathological love relationship from start to finish. You're going to want to drop by each week to see the latest episode. If you stick around to the end, I'm going to tell you something love bombers do to every victim that's very disturbing. Just wait until you hear it. And I'll tell you how to avoid that nasty surprise. Have you hit the like button yet? Be sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications so that you're sure to catch my upcoming lives along with the latest episode of Toxic Love. Okay, so let's dive into love bombing. Would you believe love bombing starts before the first text, before the first phone call, and certainly before the first meeting? The moment a narcissist or toxic person spots you, you've moved into the crosshairs of their next attack. Yes, you heard me right. I use the word attack. To toxic people, the world is a game of strategy with real winners and losers, and they're playing for keeps. Your meeting was not a happy accident. You had been targeted. Something about you drew their attention. Maybe you'd gone through a recent upheaval, a loss, or a life transition. Maybe you presented as someone nice, generous, and a little bit naive. Or you seemed to be searching for something more. But something about you suggested that you might be open to their manipulative tactics. Narcissistically abusive relationships are not healthy ones that have gone wrong. This is not about two people who just haven't learned the right rules to fair fighting. No, it's something darker and sinister. It's made of psychological predators who are on the hunt for supply, whether that's more attention, adoration, money, influence, or power. So let's look at how it's done so we can learn how to break the spell. From the moment of first contact, they treated everything you do or say as though it was magical. You'd never had someone so interested in your day-to-day life. They'll ask you where you went to school, about your job, and what you do on the weekends. They'll appear like someone who's captivated, when really it's more about prying information out of you. This is done to help them create a plausible backstory. Suddenly, you'll hear that they vacationed in the same spots or attended the same college only a few years ahead or behind. They'll use the details of your life to create a spontaneous recreation of their history in order to insert themselves in the imagination of your memories. Now, in your mind's eye, you'll see them in the same university hallways or on the same holiday beaches. They've used your history to create an illusion that you two have a shared past. Next, they'll use excessive eye gazing to establish an intense emotional connection. You'll feel seen like you're the most fantastic and fascinating person in the world. They'll brush your arm or the back of your shoulder, establish physical contact in a non-threatening way. This elicits feelings of connection and trust. And they'll mirror your gestures and body language to create a symmetry, which gives a sense of community or belonging. These strategies are used to disarm your natural instinct of alarm and helps to build a fast rapport. You'll feel understood and known, like you finally have found the place where you belong. Once the love bomber notices you've let your guard down and relaxed, they'll say that they've never met someone so compatible as you, so similar or so special, that you're different from every other person they've ever met. And by then, you're feeling pretty much the same. Without your awareness, you've been pulled into a trance-like state, and all of this feels magical, even too good to be true. And just like that, they've created a private pocket in the universe that consists of only the two of you. They have successfully created a shared present moment. To finish building this imaginary world, they'll begin to talk about taking you to a special place, their favorite restaurant, or on a perfect romantic getaway. They'll create a mirage of some future event you two will do together, and it gets you dreaming of a future of just with them. Now, they have built for the two of you a perfect world with a shared past, a special experience in the present, and a faked future. All that's left is a rush to physical intimacy to get your bonding hormones in high gear. By this point, you think you've met your soulmate, the perfect person designed just for you. But what you really met is yourself. You've been mimicked, mirrored, and parroted back by a skilled manipulator. To cement the hook, they'll begin to pull back, to withdraw. Suddenly, they're hard to reach or go absent for too long. Any efforts you make to challenge this is met with a harsh rebuttal, making you fearful that your actions might just threaten the relationship. So you learn to stay silent and endure the disappearances. You're experiencing intermittent reinforcement, the most addictive reward system being used to increase your compliance. Direct and indirect threats of loss to this relationship frightens you enough that you subjugate your will to theirs. And just like that, the beginning of a trauma bond is born. So let's rewind this process and talk about how to break the compelling spell. First, make sure there's a balanced sharing of both of your lives. Take getting to know someone new slowly. Instead, have fun together and let the rapport build naturally. If you're asked details you're not ready to share, say that in a kind or playful manner. Number 2, watch out for excessive eye contact and break it frequently when it's happening. Pay attention if this person is mirroring your body language. Becoming aware of attempts to manipulate will lessen its powerfulness. Number 3, watch for too many similarities. Don't dismiss this as a coincidence. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Number 4, avoid oversharing. Emotional predators often tell a sob story to compel you to tell yours. They'll use faked vulnerability to get you to soothe them. Remember, you never asked them for these details, so they took that risk. If it's awkward, it's theirs to handle. Number 5, keep initial dates short. Building in breaks helps to lessen the risk of creating too rapid of a rapport. And number 6, run from anyone who uses absences and gaps in communication. This is either insensitive behavior designed to control you or indication that this person isn't all that into you. Remember I said in the beginning of this video that there's a very disturbing aspect of love bombing? Here it is. Sometime during the initial meeting, you'll have been tested for pliability and compliance. It will seem like something small or silly, like forcing you to accept their help, ordering your meal for you, or feeding you a bite of food. Something awkward enough that you initially protested that it wasn't necessary. If you give in, you've indicated that you'll do the same in other situations. You've revealed that you're willing to betray your boundaries in order to be nice. Never give in. Remember, emotionally healthy people are flexible and adaptable enough to respect other people's personal limits, and they're sensitive enough not to put you in an awkward spot. No matter how grand or romantic the gesture, having it forced on you is a form of aggression. Treat it as such. So, what do you think? Are you now able to identify the signs that you're being love bombed? Or maybe you're like me and have already had a run-in with someone that's toxic like this. If so, what signs did you miss? Please leave me a comment and let me know. Have you hit the like button? Be sure to do it now, and please subscribe and turn on notifications. I'd love to see you back next week when we compare the initial manipulative tactics of a male versus a female narcissist. Do you think they use the same types of charm? Let's find out together next week. And if you liked this video, you'll enjoy the last one when I take a close look at how to avoid narcissistic toxicity by learning to spot genuine emotional healthiness.